Done. Fucking done. Are we rolling? Do you have your fucking mic so people can stop yelling at us? Say yeah into the mic, Xavier. I'm done.
He's like, I had no idea people want to hear me. So, well, they do.
Put it up. Put it in front of you, Xavier. Put it on the stand right there. Yeah, there you go. Give yourself a little. There you go. Okay. We're in.
Oh, there's also this clock.
Oh, we have a clock now? Okay, let me tell you.
The honeys are growing up.
Mastermind Media, shout out to Mastermind Media because they're going fucking hard in the paint. They're making an incredible studio over here. What's up, honeys? We're live from the Hive for another episode at Mastermind. Another episode of this bitch. I don't even remember.
We're live at the Hive from Mastermind Media.
I don't even know. Remember
it's Mastermind Media, right?
Yeah. We've lost it. We've had a couple of weeks on us.
One thing about Mama and Mommy, they go hard.
I'm exhausted. I mean, I can't tell you how it's like you
can't even speak. She's like, okay.
There's like a loose hair on my face. There it is.
You have a random sparkle on your cheek. That could be from Vegas. We don't know.
That's probably from Vegas.
Yeah.
Welcome to This Bitch with Sara Weinshenk and Kim Congdon.
When you pulled up, I was like on the curb, like an orphan.
Like on the stoop?
Yeah, just smoking. I look like a sad, like younger female version of like a...
Dude, Kim hasn't slept in like 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, I haven't...
Let's explain.
Yeah, okay. Can you do it?
Okay, so one thing about Mama, she's going to talk when Mama needs a night off. Okay, so here's the deal. We've been going so hard. We were in New York. We did so many fun podcasts. We did Legion of Skanks. We did Guys We Fucked. We opened for Joey Diaz. We did Barstool, both of us separately. So
Bonfire.
Fun.
We did.
You did Bonfire. What else?
We did a bunch of shit.
Okay. Then you think after that, Mama
I
and
got
Mommy.
assaulted.
Do we want to get into that?
To end the week, yes.
Do you want to start the episode with the assault, or should we lead up to it?
No, but we have to throw it in, like on the end of the week. We also, before we left.
You got assaulted. Do you want to get into the assault?
I don't care.
Okay, it happened at Sony Hall.
Well, let's get into the whole thing and then we'll go back. So
we'll get back to the assault.
The assault happened in the middle. It was a trickle of assault.
Dude, the assault, you know your life's crazy when the assault isn't even the craziest thing that's happened in the last...
Well, the assault happened and it was like, we don't have time for this. It was like...
I don't have time to deal with the emotional issues of being assaulted,
We
right?
were in the trenches, dog, comedically.
Yeah, dude. It was crazy.
Why are you doing that?
What?
Is everything okay?
You sat up. I just want to make sure.
Okay. Xavier tiptoed towards the camera.
And then you made me second guess what was even happening.
Normally I would ignore it, but I'm tired, so I notice every footstep. Normally I'm like, he knows. Now I'm like, we can't miss it because I can't redo this. I don't have it. I know I'm tired because I don't even know where to start. Okay, we did.
Okay, so we were in New York.
We did my assault.
We were in New York. Do you want to get into the assault?
Not yet. Let's go.
The blind man? Do you want to build up to
earring
it?
Fell out.
You don't need it. Guess what? You don't need it. You can still be funny without an earring. Well, one earring queen over here.
Okay, wait. Just as an overview, we had a crazy 2 weeks because we were in New York for 9, 10 or 11 days. One of those three.
Over 7. We were in New York for over 8. Over 8 days.
For sure. I think it was 9 or 10
a lot
days.
of time with each other.
We spent 10 days together in New York. This is the trip that we learned we need to book separate rooms.
No, we've known.
We've known.
This is the
last one where we were like, we're booking 2 places.
Final straw.
Final straw.
Yeah, it was definitely final straw.
It was too long. New York's too much.
There's so much stimulation.
The city
everywhere.
takes it out of you.
Yeah. Not the city takes it out of you and then an earring just falls off. God is a comedian.
God is a cosmic comedian.
He is. It's a cosmic joke. Life is a cosmic joke, and that's just an example of it.
What did you think of New York?
Well, let's just talk about the first 2 days. I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm a girl in the city. I could live here easily. By the third day, I said, I'm ready to go home now.
Yeah.
I said, I need to get back to the sun where people are happy.
By the third day, I said, honey, we have 6 more days.
No, by the third day, I was done.
We're done on the third day. It's enough. Enough is enough. The thing about the people in New York, I love the comics in New York.
And they're so funny.
They're so funny.
The people are so nice and
the people
cool.
are so cool. The comedy's better.
Yeah.
The clubs treat you great.
Yes,
the stand.
The stand is daddy.
The stand is daddy. And if you're in New York and you're not going to the stand, the food at the stand?
The food, it's the best food at any club
They're
I've
the
ever
nicest
had.
club and they have the best food.
It's shocking.
Yeah. So they're really great. And, but there's something about the people in New York. Can we close that curtain? Sorry, I feel like I can hear.
Okay.
There's something about the people in New York who they thrive in the
gutter.
Yeah, like they're like, hey, it's dirty, and that's like the thing.
Like, yeah, it's dirty, but we're grinding. Let's just keep going, man.
Yeah.
No sleep for the wicked. It's like, what's happening? I need to go back to self-care LA bubble where I can like get acupuncture and sleep in and then get a $9 latte.
Yeah.
This is too much for me.
Yeah. It's like it's almost too much grind for your own good there.
I'm really in it when I'm eating a street dog.
Someone said it perfectly that New York is like for people that are like value the grind over the lifestyle.
The hustle, yeah.
Yeah, the hustle. And I'm like, I would sacrifice a little bit of not being the best in the world so I can have
8 hours of sleep,
decent mental health. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's like you have to be very rich to be happy in New York.
Very, very rich.
That's the truth.
Subway. At first I was like, this is fun. We can go everywhere. All we need is our phone and it's so cheap. But then by the third day, I'm like, I should have a K95 mask on in here. I don't even wear a mask when I'm in LA, but I'm like, there's germs fucking everywhere. You have it in my head, like Kim would make me strip down and change my outfit before we went to bed because she didn't want the Subway clothes in the bed. I had to take extra protocol to keep mama happy, and she was right.
Yeah. There's one point I was like, are you going to go sit on the couch? And she was like, yeah. I was like, can you change into your pajamas? And you looked and we were done with each other and you went to sit on the couch. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, please. And you were like, no, you're right.
I was just like, I didn't have it in me anymore.
Yeah, it's just dirty.
It's dirty, but
it's fun.
It's so fun, and the hang is so fun. And we went before it got too cold, which I'm happy about because that was cold enough for me. We were in our matching jackets.
We had a thing. We had a moment. We were in matching puffers most of the time. We went hard at Forever 21. Let me tell you, we were on our way to Forever 21 at one point, and Sarah's screaming at me about
consumerism, and capitalism.
Yeah, she's like, "You're part of a capitalistic society. You love fast fashion. This is a problem. You don't need to be
mushrooms."
I was like, "Yeah." She was like she was a Gandhi of fast fashion suddenly, and she's telling me that I'm a consumer and all this shit. We get into Forever 21 and something switches in this bitch's head. Within 15 minutes, she's got a pile where you can't see her face. And
I'm an animal.
And the hangers are attached to boots that she needs to try on. She had like 62 things to try on. And I was like, were you not just screaming at me about this? But we found cute shit. Shout out Forever 21.
Forever 21. Be a sponsor.
Forever 21 forever.
We did a photo booth session in Forever 21. We should include that in this episode. I'll send Xavier the tape.
It was embarrassing.
It was hilarious. Mm-hmm. What about, I was trying on a pink gown at one point after telling you that you were a consumer and you were brainwashed by capitalistic
trying on a Barbie
society.
gown. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So we did that. We did stand up. Then we did Sony Hall. That was so fun.
Should we get into Sony Hall? First of all, Sony Hall is beautiful.
It's a great venue. We had so much fun.
Thank you, Joey.
And Joey was awesome. He was so cool.
He was the best.
The best.
He's always the best.
The hang was so cool.
The hang is so fun. All of his
We met
friends
Stu,
were there.
the living legend.
We met living legend Stu.
Feinberg.
I think it's Finer. Is it Finer?
Whoever Stu is, he's a living legend and he's awesome.
I got some video footage of Stu. Maybe we could drop.
We got some
of it
advice from Stu. What was the advice he gave?
15 minutes of
The perfect sex is 15 minutes of eating out.
15 minutes of
Eating out.
Eating
15
out, 15
minutes of eating
clit.
ass.
15 minutes of eating ass.
It's 15 minutes of sucking clit and 30 minutes of fucking. If you come soon, bring a vibrator. Something like that. Hit up Stu to find out.
Stu Finer. I think I have that on video. Maybe we can put it in.
One of my biggest sellers, 2,000, cost me $4.
cum
And I
rack?
sold 2,000. It's my cum towel.
Let's fuck.
And
Let's eat ass.
I don't know, you
Let's
don't know it,
play.
but I'm a living legend because of the perfect hour of sex I've created. 15 minutes eating ass, 15 minutes licking clit, 30 minutes fucking. You can't hold your load during a vibrator. So that's the fucking bottom line.
Oh my god, he's not wrong.
I'm
That is
wrong.
not
What do you-
McMath the fucking.
What do you
He's
mean?
a living legend.
I'm a living legend. I've been fucking the same girl, licking the same girl's ass, and licking the same girl's pussy 44 fucking years. 34 married, 10 years going
Well,
up.
that's a
back.
familiar taste.
Took her to the prom in 11th grade, March 11th, 1978.
Wow,
4
beautiful.
sons, and my youngest, John Allen.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. We got to hang out with Lee. That was fun.
Yeah.
All of Joey's friends we got to meet. They were all
Listen,
fun.
It was all fun.
It was all fun until it wasn't. Okay, so do you want to explain?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So Sarah goes up, and then she brings me up, and I go up, and I'm bringing Joey up. It was the order that we were doing at the show.
Kim murders. She's on a high.
This is coming off a high, dude. I'm getting off stage. I bring up Joey Diaz. The room stands. I'm on a high. Joey's on a high.
There's lights
The room's on a high. The theater brightens.
It's like-
Clapping. I give Sarah a hug. I come down. We're about to celebrate. Drink. Have some shrooms. Have a smoke. We're excited. Then I go, oh shit, I forgot that before our sets, I set up a tripod in the very back by the sound booth guy to get like the whole view of the theater while we're on stage. And I'm like, I got to go get my camera. As I'm walking, and like, you know when it's like when you get off stage, especially something like that, you're like heart's beating, like
You're not even on Earth.
you're not even on Earth. It's like literally like you're talking to people. If you talk to someone right after a set, you're talking to someone while you're dropping on a roller coaster. It's like the same sort
Sensation.
of energy.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really focus. So I'm walking towards my camera and I'm kind of like looking ahead, and this dude I see him kind of move out of the way to get in my way, and then he bumps into me and then pokes me in the vagina twice.
Right.
Like in a stabbing motion with his pointer finger. Xavier has his mouth open right now. How do you film porn? I look up.
I'm expecting that to happen.
Yeah, he's watching this like a horror film, like
Yeah.
it's The Conjuring right now. But yeah, he does it in like a stabbing motion. And then when I turn around to see what happens, he this is where it gets a little SNL sketchy.
Yeah.
Where he pretends he's blind and he starts like looking around.
Not him going full Helen Keller.
He went full Helen, dude. He went full
Keller.
fingering Helen Keller.
It's disrespectful to the blind.
Don't you think? It actually is, because and it was like I had just gone off stage, so I was like, what? And then I kind of just like took a look at him for a second and tried to like, and then I was like, I need to go grab my camera, and I was like, did a blind guy just run into me? And I was kind of confused. Like,
Right.
when it happens that fast, you're like, did that happen?
Right. And you just got off stage.
And I just got off
Joey's
stage.
on stage. It's like so much
And
is
Joey's
happening.
on. I'm like, yeah, it's like I'm trying to be quiet because he's on stage, and it's like his thing. It's his residency
Right.
there.
And now this blind man tried to touch your pussy.
Now either this blind man is very confused and someone needs to help him to his seat, or I just been touched.
Yeah.
So I grab my camera and I go and sit down, and I kind of take a second and I'm like pondering, and you are like, what's going on? And I go, I think this blind man just accidentally ran into my vagina. And that is your reaction. And you were laughed and you went, what? And I go, yeah, it doesn't sound right. And you went, Kim, you literally like brought me down to earth, and you're like, Kim, a blind man did not accidentally run into your pussy.
You got touched.
Yeah, you're like, you got touched. And it was like, and I was like, I got touched.
Oh no. Okay.
It was like a movie
It was
moment.
like
where
a movie moment.
The whole thing happened. It started reversing. And then the finger went like this. And I was like, and then I could feel it suddenly where he poked me twice. I was like really hyper aware of it. And I was like,
I've been touched.
I've been touched. And it felt like everything froze in that moment. I was like, I got to find this guy. So then I kind of give security. I go straight to the GM's office. Now Joey's on stage. Now I'm like asking him, like, should I say something? You're like, yeah, you should say something.
I'm like, the talent cannot be fingered by a fan.
Sarah said, yeah, the talent cannot be fingered. And she was really, in this moment, I thank God for Sarah for being detail oriented. She was really down to earth about it. I was like, you know what? You're right. I deserve better than this. And can someone give me water? And so I go into the GM's office and I walk in. And it's always awkward because you walk in and they think that we're going to say hi to meet them. It's the GM Sony Hall. Yeah. And he's like, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. You guys were awesome. We had such a good time. And I go, thanks, buddy. But listen, I got touched. Now I'm like pissed about it. And he's like, okay, do you remember what the guy looked like? And this is the fucked up part. And I don't think I even mentioned this part to you. This is the part that tripped me out. Because I wasn't on any mushrooms, but it was very trippy. When I turned around and looked at the guy, his physical description looked like Gay Blind Mike from Gas Digital, who's a blind guy.
Right.
But he actually looked like him also. It was just a coincidence that they looked alike.
Right.
And he was pretending to be blind.
Right. So that was working to his advantage. That he looked like another blind guy that you knew. You're like, oh, this is the blind guy's aesthetic.
Yes, it kind of. Okay. In the moment, it helped him because it convinced me that maybe all blind guys look like that.
Yeah, but Gay Blind
You know what
Mike,
they say? All blind guys look the same.
But you know what else they say? You know, but then we start talking about it and you're like, no, we know blind people. None of them have like Josh Potter has never accidentally fingered you.
Yeah.
I don't think he was blind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then I remember, and that's the only way I remember it, the way he looked. Because I remember having the moment being like, oh, he looked like Gay Blind Mike, and having a moment like weird that the two blind guys look like each other, but he wasn't really blind. It was just a weird coincidence. But I think it like actually helped me find him later because I wouldn't have remembered what he looked like if I didn't relate him to someone else.
Right.
So I'm like kind of looking for him, and I'm like, I don't remember what his shirt looked like, but I'm describing his hair, and we're pointing people out, and there's like 50,000 white dudes in the crowd. It's a theater. It's a sold out theater. There's over 600, 700 people, I think. I think it was over 800.
It was a lot of people.
And the people were standing. It was like 1,000 people in the room, something like that. And I'm like trying to find, I'm like, he's over here somewhere because I saw him go back to his seat. Like when I turned around and looked at him, he was like trying to find his seat somewhere near there. And I was like, and I just walked away. And then the GM's like, I find one guy and I'm like, I think it might be him. And he's like, are you? And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, no. And I don't want you to kick someone out unless I'm sure. Cause I was like I did not want to ruin someone's night.
You don't want to be like, rape, and it's not the right guy.
Yes.
And he's like there to see Joey.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was a really hard, weird situation to be in. And then you're like reviewing the tape
No,
of
but
your set.
that's after I remembered because
Okay.
I'm looking in the crowd and I'm not seeing him. I'm like, how am I not? And I see this one guy. I'm like, maybe him, but I feel like I'd be sure. I was like, I feel like I would know, maybe.
You know who touches you.
Yeah, and then like time's going by and I'm like, it's getting more of a blurry memory. Now the touch is in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember that I have my set and I'm like, holy shit, I have a video of my set. So I go to look at the video and you see him, but it is just a shadow of a person, like literally a black shadow. You can see the shape of his face, the shape of his nose, the shape of his jaw, and that he's wearing like a t-shirt. And we're like, fuck. I'm like PI private investigator in this bitch. I'm zooming in. I'm adding color. We're throwing it on filters.
Yeah.
And we're like still not sure, which sucks. Because now we have a video of the guy and he's sort of sitting in this section, but we don't see him anywhere in this section.
Right.
And I'm like, he must have switched seats with someone. And now I'm like, now are all these people guilty? Now I'm staring at these people and security's walking up and down during Joey's set with their little earpieces. It looks like intense.
It was intense.
And then the server in that section comes up and she's like, there's 2 guys in the back. I think the one that is now drunk in the back is the
offender.
Is the offender. And
The
I
toucher.
go back and the manager's already out over there. One of the managers is already over there. And the second I see this dude, I'm like, that's him. 1000% kick him out. Like, no doubt that is him. You know, when it clicks.
Right.
You're like, that is, I've seen that finger. You know what I mean? I know that finger. I said, yep, that's me. A dog knows its own scent.
No. Not you calling yourself a dog.
So he is like a little more drunk at this point because it's been an hour since it's been almost 50 minutes. This is like towards the end of Joey's set we find him. So he's gotten to watch the whole show. He got hammered. He got to touch what I call the golden nugget. And I'm
not your clipping called the golden nugget.
I'm not talking about Vegas, baby. Yeah. He got to touch only something very few get. Less than one.
She's a virgin. Not this bit again. Not the virgin bit.
I have my hymen.
No.
At least I kept my hymen.
It's way gone.
So yeah. So then I'm like pissed and I'm like, but they kind of like throw him out. They throw him out and I'm like, for me, that I'm fine. Sure, fine.
Ready to move on.
I go in the green room. Joey gets off stage. I don't even mention it to Joey. I'm kind of like pissed, but he got thrown out. Whatever. I'll get over it is my train of thought. I was like, I'm just going to celebrate. We had a good night. He got caught. He got thrown out, whatever. Then the GM comes back. And he says, oh, yeah, we threw him out. We couldn't get his ID in time, but we knew it was him because he bragged about doing it on his way out.
That's when the switch went off.
Sweetie, I flipped a switch.
She went full Florida. Puerto Rican, Florida. Explain what happened.
I can't.
Okay, so then it's like
That's
you
what
hulked
happened.
out.
I hulked out. Let's just say he'll remember me and not by the finger. I won't even go into detail.
Okay.
But let's just say I defended myself.
She took care of
in
business.
an assault in the court of law.
Yes, you did.
Sweet A.
One thing about Mama, she a tough doggy.
And yeah, and then you didn't see me leave. Nobody saw me leave. I said nothing. I just walked out, kicked open the door, and a bunch of fans were like, Kim! And I walked right past them and I found him.
And you had a word with him.
And I had just a strongly written letter.
You gave him a strongly written letter.
I gave him a strongly written letter.
Yeah.
And then I came back inside and the GM was like very New York. He was like, well, you really took care of yourself, kid.
He's like, you didn't need anyone's help.
Yeah. And then we went back down and I explained it to Joey. And at that point, I was like teary-eyed. I was like so emotional.
Yeah.
And then everybody, it was like another Tuesday for Joey. He was like, that's my kid.
Yeah.
And then we kept drinking.
Took care of it.
Yeah.
And then afterward, when we were waiting for our Uber, the person with the balloons walks by.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So after the whole thing happens, we walk to the car, or we're like waiting for the car. And this, you know those fucking cool ass neon balloons they sell at Disney? They're the clear balloons, but they have the lights in them.
They're like LED lights.
I love them.
Yeah.
I'll say right now, every time I see it, I want it. And it walked by and I just out loud went, oh, I want that balloon. Nothing to do with being touched. And Sarah goes, she got touched. Someone get her the balloon. Sarah's like directing this post-touch. We got Chinese food.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, and you were like, when mama gets touched, mama gets Chinese. Add the wontons. Sarah was like doing like PR damage, but in the form of supporting me. It was.
I was like, sweet and sour chicken. Yes, we need that. Egg rolls, whatever mommy wants, mommy gets. When you get touched at Sony Hall, you get treats, baby.
It was, and Sony Hall handled it really well.
Yeah, they were awesome.
They were really awesome. We had so much fun with them, and so much fun with Joey, and so much fun doing all the pods in New York. And then we came home. We flew home
2 days.
For 2 days. I think those 2 days we did a couple pods, and I had a meeting or two.
And we had a show at the Comedy Store, the Ryan Sickler show.
We had the Ryan Sickler. Oh my God.
I forgot about that.
We had the Ryan Sickler show at the Comedy Store, and then
that was so fun too.
The best. So fun.
Yeah.
Nothing to say there. Just the best.
Awesome all around. Yeah.
And then
Vegas.
Then we had a couple meetings, and then Vegas.
And let me tell you,
Vegas go hard. We were on Fremont Street. So if you've never been to Vegas, there's two parts of Vegas to hang out in. If you're doing like the typical Vegas, there's downtown Vegas, which is called the Strip, otherwise known as the Strip. That's where the MGM Grand is. That's where the Bellagio fountains are that make the noise. That's where like the good food is. And then there's Fremont Street. And Fremont Street is the fentanyl of Vegas. It is the
people have lost everything.
It is the stand-up comedy of the entertainment world of Vegas. It is like the dive bar of Vegas. It's the Golden Corral of Vegas. It is dirty. The music's loud. It's crazy. There's street performers. It's like this one long street, and the whole roof is a giant LED TV, and it just changes and shows trippy things while these crazy people perform in the streets in front of you.
And there's like bright lights everywhere. It's so fucking over the top. Like you just feel like you're on mushrooms even if you're not, because there's so much visually happening. It's like sensation overload. Yeah.
And I was on mushrooms.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
Shout out to Schedule 35.
That's right.
Schedule 35.
We love them.
Holding it down. P.O.P. What was that? P.O.P. Hold it. I'm legally blind. Oh, this is perfect for that episode. Do you remember that clip?
No.
Oh, I have to show Sarah this clip. We'll put it in. At the same time. Hold on. P.O.P. I'm legally blind. This is the person who fingered me. Let's do the quick version.
Yeah, Fremont Street did so many crazy things. The dead fish skin. Okay.
Hey, so tell us your side. What happened?
Hey, I'm an innocent bystander. They saying I drove a getaway car, but I cannot see. I'm legally blind. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent.
Come on this way.
That was them interviewing after my fingering. She goes, "Mama, hold it down. P.O.P. I'm legally blind."
That
was my toucher.
Yeah. So, whoa, my eye just
You
hurt.
gambled?
I lost.
You know, on my last day, I won all my money back by myself playing craps.
No.
Yes.
One thing about Mom, is she going to stay at the table to the very last end?
Let me tell you about these people. Don't gamble with these fucking assholes. I know I just said Sarah was there for me. Screw her.
Hey, fuck you. Hey, fuck you too.
No, actually, Sarah was pretty good energy. She just kind of went and did. But Sarah was like, "I'm gonna go to the slots," and I'm like, "All right, I'll see you in 5 minutes when your money's gone."
It goes so fast.
Yeah, dude, the slots are the worst.
But I love it. It's like I feel like I might be on the spectrum because there's like bright lights and noises, and I'm like, yay, I'm making money. This is it, baby. Max bet. And then I just watch the money decrease.
In 5 hits.
I'm like, how do I only have $20 left? I just put 100 in. But it's making noises and there's little cartoons and
you feel like you win every time. Yeah.
It fucking has me.
It goes like oink, 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 and you're like, yeah! Take my money if you're gonna oink at me like that.
Yeah.
It's like the money pig one.
Yeah.
And I also like that it fucks with dumb bitches. Like it'll be like they'll make the numbers like the winning jackpot like 4,777, and you're like,
that's my
the
lucky
jackpot
number.
is giving me synchronicity. I was starting to look at all of them. They were all numbers like that, and I was like, or they would do like, it was just all. Vegas is strategic. It is very strategic. It is. It goes from like like physically strategic to woo-woo strategic. Like it covers every spectrum so that they can make sure they get all the money even in case magic is real. They literally I'm serious. They make the beds, and did you notice the beds at the hotel were so hard? Was your bed hard?
I don't know.
The beds, every Vegas hotel I've ever stayed in, the beds are never comfortable. They don't want you sleeping.
I slept like a little angel.
Yeah, because we were,
I
me
slept
too.
through Kimfest.
Oh yeah, she missed my festival.
The blackout curtain took your girl.
Insane. No, something's wrong with her. It's not the blackout curtain.
It was the blackout curtain and the New York trip.
They had to call a wellness check on Sara. Nobody cared that she just did a New York trip. When they found out she slept till 2:30, everybody was like, that's not okay. People were as angry at you as I get. And I was like, thank you. And they were like,
it was your moment.
Everybody was like, what's wrong with her? They were disgusted.
I was tired. I was fucking tired.
2:30 she slept until she missed all the shows on the first day of the festival.
But I made up for it.
Because she loves to sleep.
But I made up for it.
It's nuts.
I made up for it.
How?
I did Kill Tony with David Tell. That's making up for it.
You missed my show.
Bzz, bzz, bzz. I won't do it again next year. Bzz, 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 bzz,
Not her
bzz,
apologizing on air.
I love you. I'm sorry I missed Kimfest.
Yeah, but the whole thing is meant for you to lose money. They make the windows to Fremont Street. They black out the windows so you can't see how fun Fremont Street is. It looks like it's dark out.
I don't know. I don't like your conspiracy. Your Vegas conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy.
The Vegas conspiracy with Kimmy Congdon.
You know what they even do too?
What they do?
When because we stayed at one of the cheaper hotels on Fremont. Not the cheapest, but like we stayed at a hotel where the blackjack was cheap. That's how you know. It smelled different than the Circa. I'll tell you that.
The Circa had a much better scent.
Yeah.
There was none.
Yeah.
That's what you want in a casino.
Next year at Skankfest, we'll be at the Circa. Watch us grow.
Yeah.
But the blackjack, they do this thing where you have a jackpot wheel that you play for the blackjack. So you have to put your chips down. And before they put the cards out, they take your chips. And it doesn't mean you lost. But I even think in my head that them pretending to take the chips like does some weird universal woo-woo thing where it looks like we lost and it makes the cards bad. I swear to God, I'm like, it feels like bad juju to take the chips like we've already lost, even if we haven't lost yet. Am I crazy?
Yeah, maybe. But you might be onto something. But also, it's like, I can't just say that it's not a crazy thought. You know what I mean?
What do you think, Xavier?
I do believe in stuff like that. The last time I was out in Fremont Street, Bruce Gray taught me how to play blackjack, and then he taught me I don't know if do you know how to progressive bet? I still don't feel like I get it.
No.
It was just like I was only keeping the money that I won in the center.
Okay.
And then like I felt like he kind of had vibes like that. He's like, they already touched that.
Yeah.
Keep your money. And then it would just start growing.
I'm telling you, there's
you
things.
guys are mentally ill. I'm sorry.
I'm telling
I don't know
you
what's happening.
When you play craps, a lot of the times you play and you tip the dealers so they get in a better mood, because if they start winning, the cards start being better or the numbers start coming up better because they're in a better mood and everyone's in a better mood. And the dealers will tell you it's one of the only game, like one of the only games you play with the dealer and can make money with the dealer. And the dealers will tell you when you're playing craps not to say the number 7 out loud, because when you say it, it always comes up. I said it by accident and it was the next number that came up, and the dealers were like, it always happens. It's like they will do anything in their power to make the most money. They even believe in magic at casinos. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's how stingy they are for money.
Let me tell you, my lucky number's 22. I walked into roulette. If magic is real, then riddle me this. I put money down on 22. Nothing happened.
Roulette's for dumbasses. She wouldn't.
Like, she wouldn't play. It's my fault. Somehow it's my fault.
I wanted her to sit next to me and play a couple games of craps.
No,
she
because there was no seats. You were standing. You were standing at the craps
table. It's a standing game.
I like a seat. Sue me. I've been walking. My feet had blisters on them from walking for days. 10 miles in New York, 6 miles in Vegas. My feet hurt. I'm a weak Jew. You can also sit at the slots.
You can get a stool at craps, but you weren't there long enough to find out.
I was on my own thing.
And when she was running around, she was so funny. I'd be playing craps and I'd look, and Sarah would have like so many things in her hand. Like she had like
half a
sandwich, a to-go bag from the restaurant earlier. She'd have like a poster that she was carrying around, an extra visor, one of those long drinks with the long straws. Like it was just so, and she was like, I'll be at the slots. I'm like, why? Come here, you psycho. She's just running around doing errands in the casino somehow.
Yeah. It was so fun.
It was so fun.
Skankfest. Should we get into some of the Skankfest?
Skankfest was so fun.
Skankfest was, I think it was my favorite year.
Yeah.
Was it yours? It was so nice to meet
every year's
the
the
little
best.
Honeys.
I know. Our
was so nice
Honeys
meeting you
showed
guys.
out, sweetie. Let me tell you, y'all were buzzing around that bitch.
Yeah, the hive was alive.
Yeah, it was so fun. We did shows. We crowd surfed. We met the Honeys. Me and Xavier did Kimfest.
Not Kimfest again.
Anyways.
Kimfest gate. The goddamn comedy jam.
The goddamn comedy jam was so fun. I did Rage Against the Machine
twice,
which was intense.
Killing in the Name of.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I listened back to the video and I sounded better with no voice.
Killing in the Name of. It worked with the song. Yeah, I looked at it too.
Yeah, it definitely works better with the song. That was so fun. And meeting the fans was so cool. Everybody was so nice. I took so many pictures.
You know what I liked? I liked that this year there's a lot of like dudes who listened to us first. They turned their girlfriends onto us.
Yes.
And so that was so fun to have them included in the festival too, and excited to see us and take pictures and stuff.
Totally. Very cool.
Yeah. There was like, normally it was, in the past it was like only a sausage fest, and I would say like 1 out of 5 people was a woman this year, which is cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really
awesome.
nice. I remember the first year I did Skankfest, there was like literally 3 women.
No, I know.
I swear. It was like 3 women. It was crazy.
I know, no, I bet. Because it was crazy in the past. So I bet like the first installment of Skankfest was nothing but dicks. Dick City, baby.
It was Dick City. The women are getting hotter every year.
What about when I went to the wrong dry bar?
When Sara got to Vegas, I don't know why, but her first instinct was just to go do things that are out of the way and not anywhere near. I mean, every other comedian landed and we're like, let's meet up. Let's grab dinner. I call Sara. She's 45 minutes in a different part of Vegas at a Forever 21. The bitch can't get enough of Forever 21. I said, you just hit the Forever in New York. You don't need to be there again.
It felt like an intervention. I was like, okay, I should leave the Forever 21, right? And you're like, yes, get out of the Forever 21.
Yeah, I was like, get out. Come here. What are you doing? And then she's like, okay, right after my hair appointment. She made a hair appointment at a blow strip to get her hair blown out. I said, and weren't we not? I said, we're going to be sweating in an hour.
Yeah, but I was like, I already paid for it. I'm like, it was dumb, but I already paid for it, so I need to get this blowout. So I'm running around Vegas. They dropped me off at the wrong dry bar. So I'm at the wrong dry bar, and I'm on mushrooms.
Did we even talk about you almost getting kidnapped in New York?
No.
This bitch is dumb.
Well, the timeshare.
I know. That's what reminded me of the kidnapping, is how much of a victim you are here.
I'm not.
She gets out of the airport.
I almost got kidnapped in New York. I didn't because I'm smart. I almost got kidnapped.
She went into a car of a man who whispered the words taxi. There was a taxi line. She went into the car of a man who was just wearing a suit and a briefcase going, taxis. I got side taxis. They're cheaper. And she went into that car.
No.
From the airport.
He put my luggage. First of all, he was dressed like a pimp. He was like in his outfit.
It's a bad sign.
No, I know. And my insides felt bad. Like while I was hanging out with him, I got this really bad feeling. And he takes my luggage and he puts it in the trunk. And then I go, you're a cab? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, let me see the meter on your car. And he's like, I don't have a meter. He just had like a picture of Uber. And he was like, look, this is how much it costs. I'm like, this isn't even Uber. This is just you showing me an Uber app right now. I was like, what's happening? I was like, give me my bag. You're not a real cab. Then he starts yelling at me. He's like, I'm a real cab. I was going to take you. There's nothing wrong that's happening. Look, there's cameras. There's cameras. I wouldn't do anything bad with the cameras watching. And I'm like, dude, I almost got taken.
Yeah.
15 minutes
I would
after
have had to call up that taxi driver. I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you want, but I'll find mama. if it's the last thing I do. We had to do Taken, this Honey's edition.
Oh my God.
If we had to do this bitch Taken.
No.
Taken 4, this bitch. Bzz, bzz. I don't know who you are or what you want with mama, but mommy's pissed.
Oh my God.
And then it fades out. We should do a trailer. Bring her back. And it just shows you going, oh, to Manhattan, please. With your glasses, your shirt that says new here. So what we're saying is mama's easily tricked. She made an appointment. She went to the
wrong dry bar.
Forever.
Wrong dry bar. And then I missed the appointment and got lost in the mall because Vegas is a trap. And I was on mushrooms. There's like crazy like lights and stuff. And I'm like, I just want to go back to the hotel.
She's got a titty in her mouth. She doesn't know
I
why.
was like,
She's like, do I have to tip this girl? She made me do this.
No, I felt bad for myself. So I bought myself a $20 piece of cake and ate it in the hotel room alone.
She called me. She was like, I've spent $400 in the last hour.
Just getting lost.
I'm like, leave, dude.
Just getting lost. I literally did lose like $200 in an hour just from getting lost. And you're like, it's okay. I lost money gambling. I'm like, yeah, but you had fun. I was just lost on the strip.
You were stressed in an Uber.
I was stressed in an Uber the entire time. And the Uber drivers in Vegas, they're like the dumbest of the dumb. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
They were taking me to places I didn't ask to go. It was like fucking Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I don't know. I have a feeling, and I know this is on theme, I have a feeling it was the blind leading the blind.
Okay, so let's talk about the timeshare.
So we have a great time in Vegas. And let me tell you, I am aware. I hate to say it again. My head's on a swivel. When it comes to survival, I'm a city girl. I can make it in the city. The whole week I was stopping Sara from getting hit by cars. Like, it was crazy. If my arm...
She also has like a hero complex where she thinks she's always saving me.
She's literally walks into the middle of the road and I had to physically stop her. She would push my arm and a semi would go... I mean, multiple times. She was like, oof, thank God your arm was there. If I didn't have a right arm, there'd be one host of this podcast.
Your daddy.
So the whole time, every day, I notice. I also notice things. I notice patterns. I notice the people in Vegas. I kind of see what they're doing. There's a guy that stands outside who's really handsome, and then he talks to everyone, and then he gets you and he sells you a timeshare. I was like, that guy is dressed differently every day. They have a different handsome guy out here that genuinely acts like he flirts with you, and I could really see people stopping everywhere, husbands, wives, like he was getting everybody. And there was also one person dressed in hotel stuff by the Starbucks where all the tourists would go and order a drink. And every day I would see this person go like, are you staying at this hotel? And I noticed just by watching in the 4 or 5 days, anybody that regularly stayed at the hotel and gambled was like, we're good, and walked by, and all the people were like, it's our first time in Vegas, and had this big drink. They were like, what is it? And they were always engaged. And I was like, this is a thing. This is a thing where they're getting people. So it's our last day in Vegas. I say goodbye to Sara. She goes, meet me at the Starbucks. I go, I already had Starbucks. I'm just gonna go. I'll see you when I get home. We're done at this point.
I'll see you when I see you.
I was like, bitch, die. Fuck off. and Sara calls me so sweet and excited because she had just gotten a 3-night 4-day stay anywhere she wants for just $199 in an hour at a timeshare. And
they don't use the word timeshare.
No, of course not. But she told me.
I didn't realize I signed it.
The funniest part was
timeshare until I got on the.
I said, "Why did you get it?" And she said, "They gave it to us because we were there for Skankfest."
That's what they told me. They told me they were giving me an upgraded package because I was there for Skankfest. So let me tell you, not only did I get one vacation, I got 2 vacations. And yes, I have to go to a 120-minute presentation when we get to Sedona. That's where I'll be.
Not Mama.
I'm taking Mommy with me. Mama and Mama, we take Sedona because I have a timeshare now. So we're going to be
We should go and do undercover footage of the timeshare. They don't let you film. But dog, Sara, when you go to the timeshare, if I let you go
I'm gonna
alone,
get sued by
I
the
almost want to
timeshare.
let you go alone so you can have the traumatic experience you're about to have. They aggressively try to force you to buy a condo. Then they're like in the back, like, why did you waste my time? My kids need to eat.
I know.
Yes, dog. It is like, Xavier, have you ever done a timeshare?
No, but my parents have gotten suckered into a timeshare in Vegas.
No! Wait, so what do you mean? So what do I...
Timeshare is the
when
roulette of vacation.
When I get to the 120-minute... Listen, when I get to the 120-minute presentation, I'm not giving them a penny.
No, that's what you think.
No, I'm telling
I've heard they
you.
lock you in the room. I heard that they make the thing that they do no food, no water, and then they like it's like literally, honey,
Cult.
it's bad.
But you're getting a free vacation out of it.
Yeah. No, but it's gonna be. They make you work. They make it by the end of it. You're like, I would have just paid the extra $100 not to be here.
I'm gonna get so fucking high for this presentation. I'm gonna be on Mars.
What's your plan for the time?
My plan for the timeshare is
Sarah buying a timeshare. Now you're having a condo at Disney World. after this, you're sharing a condo with 4. That's what a timeshare is. A bunch of people buy one place and they share it throughout the year.
Yeah. And you know what? I need a fucking vacation.
Now you're buying a condo in Disneyland.
It won't be that, but it might be.
Sarah.
I might be in Colorado. I might be in Aspen.
Catch Sarah and Mickey ears March through July.
You want to come down to the timeshare? This is the thing. It is a good deal. It's a scam, and I might never be able to get out of it. I can already tell, and this is what I was making a joke about it, is that it's going to be harder to get out of than a marriage. Yeah. Getting out of this timeshare.
I've heard it's bad. My mom went, and she could take some pressure. My mom recently did a timeshare. Yes, we're Florida trash. We do those. That's the only way I vacationed growing up, by the way. That was timeshares. I remember sitting in those places for hours and my mother being like, my children need to eat now. We have to go. And the door's just locked. It's crazy. They make it. And then they make you feel like you're a piece of shit for wasting their time. How could you?
Well, I'm ready for that. I'm in comedy.
I know.
You can't make me feel like a piece of shit. I'll make you feel like a piece of shit.
Not them crying when they come out.
Not me yelling and abusing the timeshare people.
Yeah. I think I saw a clip of a aggressive timeshare guy.
I'm scared now.
Are you?
For the 120-minute presentation? Stay tuned.
Yeah, they get really... Couple recounts their nightmare as their timeshare nightmare as a warning to vacationers. Do not get sucked into resort timeshare sales pitch. This is from the news. Guard yourself from pushy sales tactics. From Fox 4 News, a timeshare nightmare. These are all different.
What do? I already signed it. And they don't call it, they don't say the words timeshare because that has a bad connotation. They go, you want a VIP vacation? I said, yes, I do. Yes, I do want to be.
Listen, they're doing stories like it's 2020, sweetie.
On vacation to attend a timeshare presentation, but one California couple says the salespeople took it too far. KCAL9's Curtis Ming tonight traveled to Mexico investigating how far some resorts are going to get your signature.
Not the music.
Not the Mexican music.
Taking in the beauty, vacationing in Puerto Vallarta.
There we go.
Susie High of Auburn say they were offered $450 to sit through a 90-minute timeshare.
I get a $150 gift card.
Shuttled north of town to the luxurious.
Listen, she's still falling for it.
Villas and spa.
That was the start of the nightmare.
Oh, no!
That 90 minutes they say turned into 8 excruciating hours of rotating and relentless salespeople pressuring them.
And they were persuasive, and they kept pushing us, and we'd say
8
no,
hours.
we'd say something else.
Why didn't you leave?
We were waiting to get what they promised us.
$450.
5,000 pesos, right?
Then
Not 5,000 pesos.
showed up for her, and it's already cracked open can of beer for him. And you drink it.
I drank it.
Why'd you drink it?
I was thirsty.
6 hours at this point. We're sitting there.
Both say soon after sipping on those drinks, they started feeling funny.
I felt sick. And then he just was like in a trance. He's just sitting there.
They got drugged?
He just...
Next thing they
Honey, you're going to have to suck dick for this timeshare.
agreed to open up credit cards for the nearly $22,000 down payment.
I cannot look at myself in the mirror anymore.
Raphael Cochet sold
No!
timeshares at
So should we not go?
Honey, you're going.
I thought you said you were going to come with me for the vacay.
I don't have the 8 hours. I'm going to be at the hotel.
You don't have to be in the presentation. I asked. I said, if I bring a friend, do they have to come to the presentation? They're like, no, are you married? I said, no. Good thing we're not married.
They prefer you by yourself. Trust me. They said.
They take advantage of
They
this
said,
little-
come alone.
Come alone. Bring your credit card and come alone.
They say an hour and a half. They try to keep you there for 8 hours. That's what happened to my mom. They told her 90 minutes, and she was like, after 3 hours, like, I need to go. And they were like, no, you can't go because we need to do this or we can't finish the present. I said, you guys are taking too long. You need to give me what you promised me. And you have to yell at them to get your thing. Like, you really have to get aggressive or they won't give it to you.
I will. You know I can be aggressive.
I kind of want to go. Should I secretly film Sarah at the time? We at least have to film audio.
Oh, yeah. We can definitely film audio of me putting the timeshare people.
We should take a lot of mushrooms and be obnoxious at the timeshare. We should ask the most annoying questions. Can you squirt in the beds at this condo? Yeah.
Well, say what you will, but when I get my $150 Visa gift card.
I'll be trotting right next to you. Can I come on vacation, mommy? You're so smart to get the timeshare. Can I come?
That's our episode, I think.
That's our episode. That was a fun one.
That was a wild episode. We covered so much.
We did. You guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of this bitch podcast.
Plug one of our favorite things.
What, laughing gas? Oh. Is that us so high off the laughing gas we forgot to plug them in our heads? Yeah. Shout out to Laughing Gas, Ice Cream Shop. Joey Diaz, a big, we should have brought it up when we talked about him in the episode. We're idiots.
Yeah.
He sponsors our pod. He brought us to Sony Hall.
Sorry, I got caught up in the assault.
Sorry, I got fingered. He sponsors our podcast, Laughing Gas, Ice Cream Shop.
Follow them at Laughing Gas on Instagram. The way it's spelled.
Buy some weed, get some Schedule 35.
Tell them this bitch sent you.
Tell them this bitch sent you. Schedule35.co, promo code TB15.
Yep.
The feedback's been amazing on it, so it speaks for itself for both of them. And thank you guys so much for listening. Sarah, where can people find you?
Find me at Princess Shank on Instagram and Twitter for show dates. I don't know when this is coming out. When is this coming out?
Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Follow her for show dates.
Follow me for show dates. That's where you can find everything. And then you can subscribe to my podcast, Shank, which comes out every Wednesday, and then here every Monday on This Bitch. And I'm coming to New York. So look out for New York. Look out for New York dates in November.
Do you know? 10/31.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything for me. I will have already done the show I was going to push. It's
okay.
fine.
Guys, I will be somewhere. Look on my Instagram. At
She's
Kim
done.
Congdon, at Kimberly Congdon, whatever. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Oh, subscribe to our Patreons.
Oh, God, please.
Please.
Patreon.com/Kim Congdon.
Xavier.
Patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk.
Yeah, we need the... It makes us feel special.
Only daddies with big dicks support Patreon.
That's right.
Oh, you want to be a big dick daddy?
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Help us pay for the
All right,
timeshare.
we gotta go.
I need help paying for the timeshare.
Cut it.